Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
This transcendental vibration by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual soul, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. In this polluted concept of life, we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in our complexities. This illusion is called Maya, our hard struggle for existence, for winning over the stringent laws of material nature. This illusory struggle against the material nature can at once be stopped by revival of our Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. This consciousness is the original energy of living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived, and the process is recommended by authorities for this age. By practical experience also, we can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual status. When one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind and intelligence, one is situated on transcendental plane. This chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is directly enacted from the spiritual platform, surpassing all lower status of consciousness, namely sensual. Side. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari.
Gacharya Chittara Sadasyaman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridhar ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you. You are welcome to this class.
Hare Ram.
Thank you so much. So we can start, Maharaj.
We can start now.
Yes, Maharaj. I put the verse on the screen also.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakambitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanisvari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakal Pataruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today is very auspicious day. It's the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadeva. So I was telling Giridhari Puja that because today is Lord Nrsimhadeva's appearance day, we should discuss about Lord Nrsimhadeva.
Yes, Maharaj.
I'm not going to speak on this verse.
Okay.
If you can find the verse, 7th Canto,
Okay.
chapter 8, text number 17.
Yes, Maharaj.
I'm sure you're all celebrating today also Nrsimhadeva's appearance day, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 7, chapter 8, text number 17. Satyang vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhutesu akilesu chatmana Adrisayatyadbhutarupam udbaham stambe sabayam namrigam namanusam satyang vidatum nijabritya vashitam vyaptim chabhuteshu akileshu chatmana adrishyatatyadbhutarupam udbaham Stamve sababhyam namrigam namanusam. Word for word meaning. Satyam, true. Vidhatum, to prove. Nija britya bhashitam, the words of his own servant, Prahlad Maharaj, who had said that his Lord is present everywhere. Vyaptim, the pervasion, cha and bhuteshu, among the living entities and elements, akileshu, all, cha also, atmana, of himself, adrishyata, was seen, ati, very, adbhuta, wonderful, rupam, form, udbahan, taking, stambhe, in the pillar, Sabhayam, within the assembly, not mrigam, an animal, nor manusam, a human being. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus, the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Purport. When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, "Where is your Lord? Is he present in this pillar?" Prahlad Maharaj fearlessly replied, "Yes, my Lord is present everywhere." Bolo. Hare Krishna. Therefore, to convince Hiranyakashipu that the statement of Prahlad Maharaj was unmistakably true, the Lord appeared from the pillar. The Lord appeared as half lion and half man, so that Hiranyakashipu could not understand whether the great giant was a lion or a human being. To substantiate Prahlad's statement, the Lord proved that his devotee, as declared in Bhagavad Gita, is never vanquished. Konteya pratijani hi name bhakta panashyate. Prahlad Maharaj's demoniac father had repeatedly threatened to kill Prahlad. But Prahlad was confident that he would not be killed, since he was protected by the Supreme Lord. By appearing from the pillar, the Lord encouraged his devotee, saying in effect, "Don't worry, I am present here." By manifesting his form as Nrsimhadeva, the Lord also preserved the truth of Lord Brahma's promise that Hiranyakashipu was not to be killed by any animal or any man. The Lord appeared in a form that could not be said to be fully a man or a lion. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, all over the world, ISKCON devotees, or devotees of Lord Krishna, is observing, especially today's appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadeva. It says that the potency of Lord Nrsimhadeva is that also as the same as Lord Krishna. Even though Lord Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, Purna Bhagavan, but these three features also, similarly with Lord Ramachandra, they can exhibit Lord Nrsimhadeva, Lord Ramachandra, and Lord Krishna. These are like the main features of the Supreme Lord. They're all equal in potency. And here, Lord Nrsimhadeva, Nrsimha, Nri means human, and Singha means lion. So half man, half lion incarnation of the Supreme Lord manifest in different age where at the dawn of creation, at the time when it's like the beginning, almost the beginning. But Lord Nrsimhadeva is a Kalpa avatar. In every Kalpa, that means in every 4 yugas, the Supreme Lord appears. Unlike Lord Krishna, he appears every 1 day of Lord Brahma. Not all the time, not every Kalpa. Same with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he appears once in 1 day of Lord Brahma. This special feature of the Supreme Lord appeared to prove the words of his devotees, especially Prahlad Maharaj, that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, as we've heard here from the sloka. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, or in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. So the story goes in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the 10 chapters of the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, pertains to the pastimes of the Supreme Lord in this form, half man, half lion. It says that the Supreme Lord appears in unlimited forms, as there are many species of life, 8,400,000 species of life. So similarly, the Supreme Lord appears in as many as those species of life. We have the Matsya incarnation. We have the Matsya means the fish incarnation, Kurma, the tortoise incarnation, Hayagrib, the horse incarnation, Anantases, snake incarnation, Varaha, the boar incarnation. But specifically, we worship Lord Nrsimhadeva's form. We don't have deities. I don't think we have never heard or never seen that we have a Matsya avatar that we worship in ISKCON or Kurma, maybe Kurma Shila or Varaha Shila, but that form or those forms we don't. But specifically Nrsimhadeva, we have one in Sridham, Mayapur, or in different temples, or in New Vrindavan in America. We have Lord Nrsimhadeva there as well. And hopefully we're planning also here where I am situated right now in Delhi. They plan to have a Nrsimhadeva deity as well. So the story goes, Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking, asking that how, because the whole narration is by Narad Muni, this whole narration. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking Narad Muni, where is this? Seems to be that the Supreme Lord is partial. This chapter is entitled what? Yes, the first chapter is entitled "The Supreme Lord is equal to everyone." So yes, according to the introduction of this narration of Narad Muni, actually it was Parikshit Maharaj who was asking Sukadev Goswami. This is like intertwined in a sense that King Parikshit was inquiring that if Krishna is equal to everyone, how is it that even Shishupal, who was killed by the chakra of Lord Krishna in the assembly of this Rajasuya sacrifice by Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was asking that how is it that he, after being killed by the Supreme Lord, his body also remained, but the soul merged into the body of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is equal to everyone, especially even though the demons, they blaspheme him or they criticize him, but if they're killed by the Supreme Lord's hands, then they also get liberation. And this Shishupal is not an ordinary person. He's considered also as a great personality, because ultimately the personality originated in the Vaikuntha Loka, this Jai and Vijay. Jai and Vijay, one time the Char Kumaras, they were visiting, they're Brahma bodies, they transcend the bodily concept, they're in the spiritual platform. And somehow they wanted to see Lord Narayan, and they were barged, they were stopped. They were stopped by Jai and Vijay, the two doorkeepers in the Vaikuntha Loka. It says that you have to pass by like 7 gates, and the 7th gate, they were stopped because they look like infants, 5-year-old boys, and practically they don't wear anything at all, fully naked, because they transcended the bodily concept. And because they were stopped, the 4 Kumaras, because of their power as transcendental, they've been like millions and millions of years old also, they said that you're not supposed to be here. How can you stop us? So actually this was the plan of Lord Narayan himself, Lord Krishna, because he wanted to exhibit his fighting spirit, and no one else can fight the Supreme Lord. He made it in such a way that they've been cursed, and they were given a choice whether to take birth in the material world, 7 births as devotees, or 3 births as demons. So Jai and Vijay, they chose to be demons. So this first incarnation of these 2 personalities were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyaksha is the elder brother, but somehow or other, Hiranyaksha means his eyes always sees things as like gold. He wanted to see things materially motivated, and Hiranyakashipu means his eyes also. He wants soft bed and wealth and gold. Hiranyaksha Kashipu, soft bed, material sense enjoyment. This is what he wants. So this story goes that after some time, then they became Dantabakra and Kumbhakarna, and then and then Shishupal and Dantabakra. The previous one is Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Yes. So the Shishupal actually is a cousin brother of Lord Krishna. The mother of Lord Krishna and the mother of Shishupal, they were sisters. And there was an omen saying that, yes, when this person, because Shishupal, when he took birth, he had 4 arms. And these 4 arms is very unusual in human platform, of course. And then somehow there was a voice from the sky saying that the person whom your child, was talking to the mother of Shishupal, the person whom your child will see, and that person, when your child sees that person, the Shishupal, your son, will have only two hands, and he's the one who will kill your son. So because they're cousins, then Lord Krishna came with some gifts, and lo and behold, as soon as Shishupal saw Lord Krishna, his 2 hands disappeared, and then he just saw the mother. The mother saw that, oh, Krishna will be the cause of my son's demise. So she begged immediately that, please don't kill my son. And Lord Krishna says, okay, I will not kill your son, but if he insulted me over 100 times, then that will be the cause of his death. And ultimately, in the Rajasuya sacrifice of King Yudhishthira, there is what you call the first ceremony will be to choose who will be the first person to be worshipped. And Sahadev, he proclaimed that it should be Lord Krishna. The Lord Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Pandavas, they know that Lord Krishna is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, everyone also concluded, yes, he should be the one, except Shishupal. And he already, there's already a counter, and he already insulted and blasphemed and Lord Krishna 99 times. Then this 100th time, actually he was blaspheming also Lord Krishna, saying that Lord Krishna, he has 2 fathers, which is true, Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj. We don't even know what is his caste, whether he's a Vaishya or a Satriya. He is so lusty, he has so many wives, 16,108 wives. So how can we proclaim that he is the ultimate person first to be worshipped? So now Sahadev, because he was really wanted to have Lord Krishna to be worshipped, Shishupal started to criticize and blaspheme Shishupal, who claimed first that Lord Krishna should be the first one to be worshipped. So ultimately, the prediction was proven, because Lord Krishna, he wanted he will not kill Lord Shishupal, not until he blasphemed over 100, and he wanted to fulfill the mother of Shishupal's request to not to kill him, but because Shishupal blasphemed Sahadev, that this happened. And that so indirectly, actually, Lord Krishna is being glorified here. There is the verse in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 1st chapter that ultimately the key to attain Krishna is absorption. The key to attain Lord Krishna is absorption. Just like King Vina also is blaspheming the Supreme Lord, but he's not absorbed. He's always in that mood of against the Supreme Lord, but he's not focused. However, Shishupal, he may be so much enmity of Lord Krishna, but he is absorbed. It says here, Tasmad Bairanubadena Nirbhairena Bayenava Snehat Kamenava Yunjat Katanchit Nikshate Pritak. Therefore, by enmity or by devotional service, by fear, by affection, or by lusty desire, by all of this or any one of them, if a conditioned soul somehow or other concentrates his mind upon the Lord, the result is the same. For the Lord, because of his blissful position, is never affected by enmity or friendship. Yes, if one praises the Supreme Lord, the Lord is happy, he's being praised, but ultimately the benefit is for the one who is doing the praising or the glorification. And if one blaspheme or criticize the Supreme Lord, the Lord never gets affected, but it is the one who is blaspheming or criticizing the Lord who will get the karma. So, but the main purpose though is that even though one is averse, it says here, by fear, by affection, by lusty desire, or by devotional service, any one of them, if somehow or other, if they concentrate their mind up to the Supreme Lord, then the Supreme Lord gives the same result. Because ultimately, those who have material desires, and if they worship the Supreme Lord or think of the Supreme Lord, they become purified ultimately. So this is what happened to Shishupal. And the story goes back again to the 4 Kumaras visiting Narayan. Then Hiranyaksha got killed by Varahadev. And then Hiranyakashipu tried to pacify his family members because they were so aggrieved, grief-stricken about the loss of one of their family members. But then the Hiranyakashipu is very knowledgeable. Demons also are very knowledgeable about the science of the soul. They know that they're not the bodies, they're spirit, soul, but they think that they're God. That is the difference. They are the supreme master. So Hiranyakashipu, he pacified the family members, and ultimately he became averse. He wanted to revenge his family. He wanted to revenge against the Supreme Lord, so that his family members will seek justice. The justice will be served. And then to do this, because he knew that he becomes very, very powerful, especially performing austerities, that he'll be able to gain the attention of Lord Brahma. So he performed great austerities in Mandarachala hill. He was standing on his toes and his hands is like raised up, going up to the sky. And he was doing this for thousands and thousands of years compared to our year or time calculation, of course, that he's not able to contain himself, that fire is starting to emanate from his head. And the whole universe become disturbed. The whole universe became disturbed. Practically no more flesh, only bones. And mounds of earth starting to cover his body, covered by ants. So the demigods, they thinking that if this continues, then there'll be a dissolution. The whole universe will be devastated. So they approach Lord Brahma, and because of the austerities of Hiranyakashipu, then Lord Brahma came down to the earth, and then he as soon as he saw that there is this mound of earth, of course he knew that this must be Hiranyakashipu. So from his kamandalu there is some water, and then he poured the water there, and emerged from that mound of earth is the body of Hiranyakashipu, turned into golden, very effulgent, very effulgent. So Lord Brahma asked, what kind of benediction you wish to have? Because usually one performs austerities and there is a reaction or benediction that will be given, a boon will be given in return. So usually demons, they think for themselves. Unlike the devotees, they perform austerities to increase love for Krishna. It's like Ekadasi. So we had Ekadasi the other day. This very singular, this Ekadasi is very, very rare. It only occurs like once in 1,000 years, because the three titis are there: Ekadasi, Dwadasi, and Trayodasi, all at the same time. And then there is like a residual of Trayodasi yesterday, and now we're observing Chaturdasi. So then he asked, what kind of benediction you wish to have? Brahma asked Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu says, oh, I wish to become immortal. What? Immortal? I myself also die. After 311 trillion years, I am also have to die. How can I give you this boon? So now Hiranyakashipu would like to go around and trying to trick Lord Brahma. Okay, you give me a boon that I will not die neither day nor night. You give me a boon, and then Lord Brahma says, Tatastu, okay, so be it. Or no, nor I will be die by any cause, by any weapons, neither by man or beast, neither by land or air, neither inside or outside, neither by any of your creation. Because ultimately Lord Brahma, he's the one who supplies all of these different material elements that we have. So all of these things, neither day nor night, and all of these conditions, the Lord Brahma says, so be it. So he wanted to trick Hiranyakashipu wanted to trick ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but who can trick the Supreme Lord? He is the greatest cheater. So cheating only for our own benefit ultimately. So now Hiranyakashipu got all of this boon, and the first thing that he did, actually during the austerity that Hiranyakashipu was performing, Kayadu, the wife, she was pregnant, and somehow the demigods, they took advantage trying to capture her, and they captured her because they knew that Hiranyakashipu was performing austerities in Mandarachala mountain, and they took Kayadu because they knew that there is a child within the womb of Kayadu. And they captured her, thinking that as soon as she gives birth to a child, then they will kill the child, because they mistakenly thinking that the child there will be as powerful as Hiranyakashipu. But then again came in Narad Muni. And Narad Muni is very special devotee of the Supreme Lord. He comes, he enters at the right time, in the right place for the right reason. So he stopped all of these demigods headed by King Indra, saying that, no, you do not know that the person, the child in the womb of the wife of Hiranyakashipu is a Mahabhagavat. Actually, is one of the Mahajan. Swayambhu, Narado, Shambhu, Komara, Kapilo Manu, Pralado, Janako, Bhishmo, Balir, Vayasaki, Bayam. There's these 12 Mahajans. And Prahlad Maharaj is one of them. Narad Muni is also one of them. So what happens is that Narad Muni brought Prahlad Maharaj to his ashram, and while Kayadu is there, Narad Muni narrates the Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni narrates Srimad Bhagavatam and Sanatan Dharma, the whole understanding of the nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. And of course, Prahlad, says of Prahlad Maharaj, even while it's time for Prahlad Maharaj to come out of the womb of his mother, he did not come out because somehow or other he wanted to hear more and more and more the Katha, Hari Katha, coming from the pure devotee. So what happens is that when Narad Muni, his narration was over, then Prahlad Maharaj came out of the womb of his mother. And then they went back. At that time also coincides that Hiranyakashipu performed his austerities and everything, the boon that he asked from Lord Brahma was finished. So they all came back. But this time, Hiranyakashipu would like to become the king of all kings. He would like to be the emperor of the whole universe. So he took the seat of King Indra. Everyone became like menial servants of Hiranyakashipu except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. All the demigods, practically all of them. So what happens next is that he stopped the brahmanas from offering to the Supreme Lord the yagya, or if others will do yagya, he reversed everything. Hiranyakashipu, because yagya is meant for the pleasure of Lord Krishna, but then he made it became so powerful that those who will perform yajna actually will displease the Supreme Lord. And those who did atrocious activities, sinful activities, will get some result which is like favorable for them. He reversed all of this. And so Hiranyakashipu would like to have his son, Prahlad Maharaj, to be like him, if not better than him. And so he sent his child to the Gurukul. Gurukul means the school of the spiritual master. Then the demons, they have also their guru or teacher, but not for spiritual advancement. Their guru actually ultimately is Sukracharya, and he had his two sons, Sanda and Amarka, that they're the ones who are teaching in the Gurukul. So Hiranyakashipu would like to have his child, Prahlad Maharaj, knew the art of cheating, knew the art of being dishonest, knew the art of rule and divide. So these are the demon's qualities. But he did not know that Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, the Mahabhagavat. So one day, I mean, in the school also, Prahlad Maharaj, I mean, whatever the teachers are teaching to him, he just like, he didn't care less. And during the tiffin time or recess time, he would teach his classmates. He would teach his classmates about the nature of the absolute truth. Prahlad Maharaj was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind. Like the super soul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and older God brothers to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was completely free from unnatural pride that might have arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. This is Narad Muni telling to Maharaj Yudhishthir about the nature of Prahlad Maharaj. So he was teaching. So at the same time, this is like secretly. So when one day, Hiranyakashipu, just like for some of you who are grihastas and you have also children, I'm sure sometimes when the child will come from school, you will ask your child, so my dear child, what did you learn from school today? Have you ever asked this from your children? Yes? Yes, of course. So the origin of this is Hiranyakashipu. So, but this time, Prahlad Maharaj says, because if, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, what did you learn from your guru? So indirectly, actually, Prahlad Maharaj's guru is Narad Muni. Prahlad Maharaj's guru is not the Sanda and Amarka. No, this is like, he didn't consider them as a teacher at all. They are cheaters, opposite of teacher. So he says, Tatsadu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudvigna diyam asadgrahat hitbat mapatam griham andakupang banam gatoyad darim asrayeta. O best of the asuras, king of the demons. This is how he addressed his father. As far as I have learned from my spiritual master, that means Narad Muni, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, Vana. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada, he included, or he made it in such a way that Van, or actually, when Kayadu was being narrated by Narad Muni, the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually it was in Narada Kund. This is a place in Vrindavan. That is the ashram of Narad Muni. It's near Kusuma Sarovar. Most of you who've been to Vrindavan, I'm sure you've been familiar with Kusuma Sarovar. Very beautiful, small body of water. But nearby there is Narada Kund, where Narad Muni, he wrote the Narad Bhakti Sutra. And also, this is the place where he was taught to because Narad Muni became a gopi also somehow for some time. Anyone who takes bath in that Kusuma Sarovar also, he says, with pure heart, then ultimately they'll attain spiritual form. So Vana, Vrindavana, yeah, because there's a certain time of our life when one will take Vanaprastha, especially those who are in the Grihastha ashram. They will take Vanaprastha, means retired life, and they will go travel to many holy places along with the spouse, and no more physical contact, but to increase more and more one's awareness of becoming Krishna conscious. So Vrindavan means that place, Vana, that place where the retired in the ashram, Vanaprastha, is they go. But ultimately, Vrindavan is in your heart. So wherever you may be in Africa, Ghana, or Tanzania, or any place, part of the world, Vrindavan is in our hearts. So we just have to purify our existence, especially by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, following the four regulative principles, and always hearing the glorious name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Then ultimately we will attain that Vrindavan mood or Vrindavan consciousness wherever we are. So now Hiranyakashipu became angry. Where did you learn this? How is this what's being taught in the Gurukul? So he called Sandainamarka and says, what is this? What is he talking about? There must be some Vaishnavas infiltrating the school. How else can he learn this? Because Sandainamarka, they were denying. No. We never taught anything like this in the school. This is ridiculous. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to make sure that it's heavily guarded, the Gurukul, and no other personalities go inside, especially Vaishnavas, followers or devotees of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So time passed by again, and then yes, he asked again. Hiranyakashipu asked again, Prahlad Maharaj, what did you learn this time? And then Hiranyakashipu would like to hear something which is like, cultivating the cheating or becoming more advanced as a demon. And he was surprised to hear this 7th Canto, chapter 5, text 23 to 24. And in all of Prabhupada's purports, if you encounter anything which is longer purports than this, you will never encounter any longer purports in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially in this Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dashyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktis Chennavalakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Ditang Uttamam. Hearing and chanting about the transcendental body, name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him, in other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words, these 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So, in that part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada gave very elaborate purport. Prabhupada gave very extensive explanation about these 9 processes of devotional service. And we can delve into this on your own free time. Study this 9 processes of devotional service. So yes, he was so surprised. He was very surprised. Where again, Hiranyakashipu was so angry now. He was so angry. He became so angry that he actually practically threw Prahlad Maharaj, and he made sure that actually because he was thinking, oh, this is a completely brainwashed now. So, and he was asking his son that where did you get this knowledge from? Where did you get this knowledge from? And he was saying that the same source where you get your strength from. So he started to punish Prahlad Maharaj because Hiranyakashipu, he understood that Prahlad Maharaj is on the other side. He's not with him. So he wanted to actually practically kill Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj was saying that because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward hellish condition and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Punas charvita charvananam. Their inclination toward Krishna are never aroused. either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. How is it that they cannot understand? Nati vidu swarta gatim hi Vishnu. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life, this is 7th Canto, chapter 5, text 31, and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects, cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind man, guided by another blind man, miss the right path and fall into a ditch. Materially attached man, led by another materially attached man, are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic suffering. Again and again, suffering the threefold miseries. So he was talking, he was telling this to Hiranyakashipu, that if one wants to really get out of this material world, ultimately, the next verse says, na isang matis tavat urukrama grim sprisati anatar pagamo yad arta. Mahiyasang padarajo bishekam niskinchananam nabrinita yavat. Next text, that's text 32. Unless they smear upon their bodies dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination, persons very much inclined toward materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in this way, one can be freed from material contamination. So now, it's useless now. It's not possible now to change Prahlad Maharaj according to Hiranyakashipu. So he tried to punish him by throwing him into the mountain, put him in a boiling oil, put him in a pit with snakes and poisonous animals or insects or reptiles. He has been trampled. He has been put to be trampled by elephants. They're giving him cake with poison. But before eating, of course, Lord Narayan or Lord Krishna has been Prahlad Maharaj offered to Lord Krishna this poisonous cake, but he became he didn't get even one scratch. Trying to harm him, they pushed trident to his body. He cannot. Somehow Hiranyakashipu became so tired of him. Became so tired. What is this? You are not so fearful of me by just even my the movement of my eyebrow. The whole universe, the residents of the heavenly planets, they will all run here and there in fear, but you are not so fear at all. Where is your God? Where is your God? And Prahlad Maharaj says, he is everywhere. As we were reading here from that verse that we quoted right from the very beginning, of this, the 7th Canto, chapter 8, text 17. Hmm. And then Hiranyakashipu took his sword and he asked, is he everywhere? Yes, Prahlad Maharaj said, he's everywhere. So is he in the pillar? Yes, Prahlad Maharaj says. And he struck the pillar. Then a big sound, thunderous sound, roar, came from nowhere. They were looking, where is this sound coming from? I didn't know that actually Nrsimhadeva appeared. The half man, half lion incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Shri Nrsimhadeva Bhagavan Ke. That now he was so surprised. Hiranyakashipu was so surprised. They'd never seen such a personality like this or a creature like this. So then that was the start. That was the start of the battle. Hiranyakashipu, he was thinking, what is this creature that is half man and half lion? So he studied the form of the Lord and trying to decide who the form of Nrsimhadeva standing before him was. He was so surprised, never seen a personality like this before. So to prove the words of his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, Nrsimhadeva appeared and the battle ensued, started. And the battle actually, Lord Nrsimhadeva says that it's just like playing. For him, this is only a play. Sometimes it looks like, oh, Lord Nrsimhadeva is being defeated, but no. They started to fight without any more weapons. In the beginning, a club with the weapons. And then immediately when the right time came, it was dusk. It's neither day nor night. Lord Nrsimhadeva took Hiranyakashipu on his lap. This is neither in the sky or nor in the land nor in the water. And he put him. It says that this fight took hours, not just immediately, like within few minutes. No, it took hours. Like Lord Nrsimhadeva appeared in daytime, but then dusk is like twilight. No day and no night, no sun, and moon is there. It's like it's not visible. And yes, Hiranyakashipu was killed with the chisel-like nails of Lord Nrsimhadeva. So yes, he was not killed by man nor a beast, because Lord Nrsimhadeva, half man, half lion, and no weapons, because the nail is not a weapon. And he opened his heart, his body, his chest, and he took also his intestines, and he put this like a garland towards Lord Nrsimhadeva's body. And he looks very, very beautiful, very, very attractive. And became so angry, that not a single person can approach him, even Lord Brahma or King Indra. And then Lord Brahma asked Prahlad Maharaj, who is fearless, being a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, asked him to, you go please pacify the Supreme Lord, Lord Nrsimhadeva. So Lord Nrsimhadeva is the Lord of protection. He's the Lord of protection for the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Is when Srila Prabhupada was very sick, he taught these prayers to the devotees, and he asked that these prayers be distributed all over the world to all the temples, and they should pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva for the protection of Srila Prabhupada. So he is the Lord of the protection of the devotees. He is the Lord for the protection of the spiritual master. And also they established the Ugra Nrsimha, this deity of Lord Nrsimhadeva in Mayapur for the protection of our movement, for the protection of our movement all over the world. We should pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva to protect our Bhakti Lata Bij, our seed of Bhakti, that with his chisel-like nails also get rid of our anarthas, lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. And ultimately, we should pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva to get rid of the obstacles that is in the path of our execution of devotional service. The path of devotional service in the beginning is like this. That's why we have to follow the four regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, perform this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. And for the neophytes, it's not so easy to perform this because we became conditioned since time immemorial for many, many lifetimes. So the obstacles are here, like criticizing or blaspheming or becoming proud, attraction for material desires, attraction towards the opposite sex, laziness, all of these things. There's a cheating propensity, tendency to lie, and all these things. These are all obstacles in our path of devotional service. But if we pray, especially today, to Lord Nrsimhadeva, then by his mercy, we'll be able to get rid of these obstacles, and our path in the process of devotional service will become smooth, and ultimately we will attain love of Godhead, love of Shri Shri Radha Shama Sundar. I will stop here now. I'm sorry I went over time, but I'm sure we missed a lot of important points, but we just mentioned some of the points that I can remember right now. But nevertheless, I'm very happy to be amongst you today to share some of these pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadeva and Prahlad Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. We had a wonderful class. I'm grateful that you came today. Narrations. I have a question.
Okay.
Because of your lecture, you mentioned we shouldn't be attracted to material things, and you mentioned that Hiranyaksha means material, looking after material things, and Hiranyakashipu wants soft bed, wealth, and gold. My question is, in the Vedic scripture, all the kings who are devotees of Krishna, they all have all this gold, all this wealth.
Right.
And the Pandavas also.
Right.
They are still devotees of Krishna. So my question is, why do we have to not to look after all this wealth when the kings who are great devotees also possess them?
Well, usually they're called Raja Rishis, the kings during the Vedic times. They are saintly kings. They use whatever they have for the service of the Supreme Lord. They don't hoard things. Just like nowadays, we've heard, some leaders, even some poor countries, but they're like, they have so much riches in their vault, but they use it for their own sense enjoyment or for the future of their family members. The real kings, they will use whatever is in the treasury to benefit the citizens. Whatever they have, they'll offer it back to Krishna. It's like King Yudhishthira, he was performing this Rajasuya sacrifice. He collected so much wealth and money all over the world just to please the Supreme Lord and to atone, because he knew that there in the battle of Kurukshetra, many people died. So he wanted to appease the souls. So similarly, in our neophyte stage right now, the accumulation of wealth could be a destruction, could be hindrance, because we will not use it properly. That's why we need guidance of the spiritual master. We need guidance of Guru, that if we have something that Krishna gave us, then we can ask the spiritual master how to use them properly. Now, usually, just like the Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, he would give 50%. Of course, that was after his retirement. He gave 50% of his income towards propagation of Krishna consciousness, 25% for himself, just in case of emergency, and 25% for his family members, just in case also they need them. So material things, nothing is wrong. But the problem is how we use the material things. It's like we use computers, we use cars, we use the planes for traveling. We use material things, but then we use it for the pleasure of Krishna or for his service. Then we don't get reaction. The reaction is that we become purified, not that we get more karma, that we will take birth again and again in this material world. So that's why we need guidance. We need proper direction that comes from those who are self-realized spiritual master. We can ask them if we have this and how to use them properly, the material wealth. Otherwise, it becomes a hindrance, and we become more greedy. We should be, as Prabhupada's motto for ISKCON is, simple living, high thinking. You may have so many wealth, so many material things around you, but then if you are not Krishna conscious, what is the use of that? You can be living in a simple hut, small area to till land and have a cow, milking cow, and you can live very simple, but you can live happy, more happy. That is the definition of happiness.
Yes.
The definition of happiness is less is more. All right. So that's good. It's a good question. Krishna will send more and more opulence to the devotee who is performing bhakti, because this is one of the benefits. But he should know how to use it. So like Prabhupada, he had only like what, $7, 40 rupees when he came to America. But then after that, because he knew that the supreme proprietor is a supreme Lord, he's a supreme enjoyer. And he must have read his diary. Every cent he would jot down, he would record. How much he spent for the bus, for the boga. But now, look, ISKCON is like what? millions and millions of dollars. If we, aggregate, if you collect all of those assets of ISKCON, probably more than $1 billion, I'm sure. But because we use it for Krishna's service, then that is the ideal way how to do it. So that's how it goes. Yes?
My second question is giving offerings to the pure devotee,
Yes.
because you say we need guidance from a pure devotee. How are we sure that by giving material things to a pure devotee, we are not tempting him to material enjoyments? Because so many pure devotees have so many material possessions. How are we sure that we're not incurring karmic reaction for tempting a pure devotee? It's like sending a woman to a sannyasi, to a pure devotee. We are tempting him. So material things also, how are we sure our activities and donations is not giving us sinful reactions? Because a sannyasi is not supposed to have these things, and we are giving it to them as these devotees.
Sure. As we mentioned earlier, a pure devotee is a pure devotee. A pure devotee will not become, again, a conditioned soul. So it's based from the Shastra, the nectar of instruction. Vachuvegam, Manasakroda Vegam, Uttaravasta Vegam. He has controlled his senses, he's controlled his mind, he's controlled his speech. This is signs of a pure devotee. And pure devotee means he's always engaged 24 hours a day in the service of the Supreme Lord. He's so attached to the Supreme Lord, he is fully engaged. So if you give in the understanding that will be used for Krishna's service, then you'll get benefit. The pure devotee, he doesn't take it for himself. He accepts. As Prabhupada says, it is a duty of sannyasi to accept the donations, but then he uses it for Krishna's service. And when he accepts, it's not for his own benefit. Actually, ultimately, the one who gave gets the benefit. It's like, for us sannyasis, we don't have any possessions. Whatever we have, they're all gifts. They're all gifts coming from many of our, friends or followers, and we use it for Krishna's service. Okay? So don't worry, but then you have to really know don't worry. You really have to give to the right sort, to the right person. It's not so easy. You just have to have trust, and Paramatma within your heart will tell you what also needs to be done. Paramatma will tell you. Okay.
You mentioned that a pure devotee will no longer be a conditioned soul.
Yes, because he's a pure devotee already. A real, genuine, pure devotee is always going to be a pure devotee. No way that he will fall down. This is what Prabhupada, as long as Prabhupada says, as long as we follow the instructions of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, then that is pure devotee. And Prabhupada mentions also one time though, the only difference between you, that means his disciples, and me, is that I will never fall down. Okay, so as long as we follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, then we will also be in that platform, following in his footsteps. Okay, so material wealth may be there, may be given or offered to the pure devotee, but then he uses it for Krishna's service. Projects, temples, preaching, book distribution, and so on. Okay?
Thank you. So on today's
this is not
lecture
so easy.
on
Huh?
Prahlad's and Nrsimhadeva, why
Yes.
is it that Nrsimhadeva doesn't respond to most of devotees' prayers for protection or for healings?
How do you know?
Because the Devotee responded to Prahlad Maharaj in all circumstances.
There are so many stories of devotees. They were in danger and they will chant the Nrsimha prayers and they'll be saved. Many stories. many stories all over the world. Like person or devotee who's in danger, someone is attacking, and then he will say, Nrsimhadeva! And then the person who is going to attack stop because he heard the name of Nrsimhadeva. Many devotees pray to the deities of Prahlad Nrsimha in Mayapur. Some of them, there's an instance that the doctors found that he has a cancer, but then he prayed to Lord Nrsimhadeva, and somehow cancer is gone. So again, ultimately is a question of our faith towards Lord Nrsimhadeva, because he is the Lord of protection. If our faith is not so much, then the Lord reciprocates accordingly. But if our faith is strong, then the Lord also reciprocates according to our faith. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Anything else? I have to go because I would like to spend more time with you, but we have Abhishek at 5 o'clock here.
Okay, Maharaj, no problem.
This class, we can continue about Lord Nrsimhadeva.
Yes, Maharaj. So we ask our devotees to kindly unmute yourselves and let's chant Hare Krishna for Maharaj for coming. We expect him next month. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. That's such a great class. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much, all of you.
Or even a dog.
Hare Krishna.
The chanting should be hard.
Hare Krishna, Prabhus
Have a pure devotion.
and Mataji's.
So that immediate effect can be
Thank
achieved
you, Maharaj.
as far as possible. Chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided as much as milk touched by the lips of a serpent causes poisonous effect. The word hara is the form of adoration, the energy of the Lord. Krishna and Rama are form of addressing directly the Lord, and they mean the highest pleasure eternally. Hara is the supreme pleasure potency of the Lord. This potency, when addressed as Hare, helps us in reaching the supreme Lord. The material energy called as Maya is also one of the multi-potencies of the Lord, as much as we are also marginal potency of the Lord. The living entities are described as superior energy than matter. When the superior energy is in contact with inferior energy, it becomes an incompatible situation. But when the supreme marginal potency is in contact with spiritual potency, Hara, it becomes the happy, normal condition of living entity. The three words, namely Hara, Krishna and Rama, are transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra, and the chanting is spiritual call for the Lord and his internal energy, Hara, for giving protection to the conditioned soul. The chanting is exactly like genuine cry by the child for mother. Mother Hara helps in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hari or Krishna, and the Lord reveals himself to such sincere devotee. No other means, therefore, of spiritual realization is as effective in this age as chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna